Is alien DNA in the human genome? That's crazy. But that is exactly what former CIA officer John Ramirez said recently in an interview, and it is blowing my mind. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. Please share this video on social media when it drops, and please comment below as I'm going through the story. Also, please consider supporting Cosmic Road by becoming a channel member to receive exclusive access and videos. See the first line in the description below, or simply leave a tip in the tip jar with the super thanks feature below. Or heck, I'm a novelist, buy one of my books. Links in the description. Okay, moving on. I have been following every word that John Ramirez has been saying. Most of it is coming from this briefing that he was part of, where he was told some really amazing stuff. And one of the biggest things to come out of it that I just now have heard, I think he has just come forward with this information, is that alien DNA, specifically the aliens or the beings, whatever they were, at Roswell, have been found in the human genome. Is this evidence for the alien-human hybridization program? Is this evidence that the beings created humanity? Well, this is so fascinating, but first you have to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Let's go to the interview with John. Here it is.
It's a separate process. It's not a 4D. And to hear what I heard, I said, okay, there's something to this story. And they related to the fact that they went back to after World War II for this hybrid story. And they didn't present any evidence. So when they say, I have no evidence, I agree with you. I don't have any evidence. All I have is these two top officials saying that the CIA has been interested in the hybridization of humans and that discovered alien DNA in the human genome. That's what they told me. So if I get permission to use their names, and they're still alive, if I get permission to use their names, then that offers another avenue for researchers to actually knock on their doors and ring their phones to say, hey, where's the evidence? How did you know this yourself? That they told me and others in that room about alien DNA. And so that's where I'm at right now. And in conjunction with that, I wanted to get my medical records from CIA. And as a separate process, it's not a FOIA process for employees or former employees of the CIA. We go through a different internal channel where we can self-identify as CIA officers, because I have a secret number. Like I said, it's not 007, but there is a number that they can look up and then actually say, yeah, this guy is CIA. And so I requested my medical records, and I'm still waiting on them. They acknowledged receiving my request, and I'm just still waiting on them to deliver to me my medical records. I want to see what my medical records might say about any kind of high strangeness that CIA found.
Huh. Now, when you say that the hybrid situation, that's what a lot of people are getting stuck on when they're watching you. But when you're saying that, I just wanted to clear something up because it was a little confusing to me. And that is, are you saying that there's the hybrids are from 1946 or 47 forward, or are you saying that's when you discovered something? But how would they know alien from?
So I give credence to the fact that Roswell actually happened, and I believe personally that bodies were recovered, and if these bodies were examined, and then their DNA was examined, and they know what that alien genome looked like, and they look at humans, and they can identify the same sequences in human genome. I think that's what led them to believe that there's an hybridization of humans. And they further said in this one-day symposium that there are familial lines, there are families that have not only alien DNA, but enhanced alien DNA of interest to CIA.
Okay.
So it was like there wasn't knowledge before the end of World War II. There was no CIA. There was no intelligence community per se. But we know that Roswell happened in July of 47. And so to me, it was a logical leap that it was during that time when, if we believe in Colonel Corso, if we believe in eyewitnesses, if we believe the Roswell story, then we know that the bodies were recovered. And we have to believe that those bodies were examined somewhere. And we have to believe that they were able to sequence something in those bodies that looked like a genome. And from there, they checked the human genome and saw the correlations. That's what I believe, because that's what I was told. Now, I don't have any evidence of that, but by releasing these names, I would hope that serious researchers and journalists would contact these people and trying to get the story down, if they would even admit to the story. But I heard it with my own ears. And I can identify 2 other CIA officers that were not presenting that also heard it as well. And I need permission to release their names.
I hope he gets it. There's a last segment here.
When this one-day symposium occurred, by that time, we've sequenced, or at least the government has sequenced this DNA, both in humans and in whatever bodies they recovered. Otherwise, I don't think they would have been able to make that statement to that group of people, which included academics, .edu, professors from various universities. So it wasn't just a government-held secret. I mean, some of that information was shared to academics. If you want to call them the invisible college, you can. But to me, it was obvious that there were people in universities who worked with the government to study this phenomenon. This is 2001. I believe it was 2001 when this one-day symposium occurred.
What is the Invisible College? It's a name coined by Jacques Vallée to refer to the group of college professors and scientists who help study the UFO phenomenon for the government. They're not an official group or anything. Stanford's Dr. Gary Nolan would be an example of a member of the Invisible College, according to this tweet. That's a phrase that you hear a lot, but there is a good explanation for it. This person says some people have even suggested maybe there might be hidden code or message embedded within our DNA. Well, that is all speculation, but who knows? Anyway, that is
what I heard.
John had to say. Isn't that crazy? So we've got alien DNA mixed up with our DNA. What the hell? Okay, now it's also very interesting. I'm not entirely sure what beings those were at Roswell. I believe they called them the Ebens, the extraterrestrial biological entities, whatever it was. And they had one of them that they got alive and kept it alive for a couple of years, maybe until 1951 or something like that. And then it passed away. They were even able to communicate with it a little bit, so the story goes. The autopsy, as reported by Colonel Corso, showed that they were created beings. They are not naturally occurring beings. They were designed specifically to work and to interface with the ships they were traveling in, and the energy fields around the ships. Their brains were electromagnetically aligned. But one thing we hear about the Greys a lot is that these smaller Greys are, more or less androids. They're created beings. They're drones. Even if they have individual personalities to some extent, they are drones created by the taller Greys. Now, with the Roswell craft, they don't seem to have strictly been Greys, but they resemble Greys a lot. So it is unclear, if there is a connection there, if that is that humans would be related to Greys, which is something that you do hear a lot. Even the book that I'm reading by Ashiana The Voyagers, says that. So, what are the Ebens? How are they related to us? Did they create us? If the Ebens, at least the ones that crashed at Roswell, are created beings, what does that say about humanity? Or is this simply evidence of the hybridization program? If you have studied alien abductions at all, you will be familiar with the hybridization program. The evidence for the hybridization program is overwhelming. So it would be very hard to even throw any doubt in my mind that exists. The doubt that I have is whether it could possibly be for our benefit or not. Because you hear it both ways. You also hear that there could be different agendas and different factions abducting us and hybridizing us for different reasons. Some better than others, some more benevolent than others, some helping us to evolve and become closer to source and good stuff like that. Some not so great. Some so that the beings can blend into our society. The hybrids can blend into our society and take over, or else, for whatever. I'm not going to go into the various explanations in this video. That's outside the scope of this video. But I may do a separate video on that at some point about the various reasons the beings are said to hybridize with us. To me, that's more of what John is talking about here, is evidence of the hybridization program. He even says as much himself. That is, I think we're talking more about hybridization than we are talking about the aliens having created humanity to begin with. However, they're not mutually exclusive. We could have been created through a hybridization process. That is, taking some primates and, mixing in some of their DNA to create, ultimately, us. Well, I say ultimately, but apparently the process is still ongoing. Anyway, it's a crazy story, and all we have right now is John saying that. He doesn't have any evidence of it, so it's all about whether or not you believe him. It's really interesting that he was part of this briefing, even though he doesn't seem to have generally been part of the program or, any of the various programs. He wasn't hanging out with Bob Lazar. But it's fascinating nonetheless, so let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. And please, if you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below, and there's 2 tiers of membership to receive exclusive access in videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.